Hello. I do have some cruising videos coming, but I wanted to give you a real-time update because yesterday Aintree came and did all the snagging work on the boat. To be honest, I didn't actually expect that they were going to come, so I wasn't here. I sent somebody else to come and oversee once I realised that they'd actually turned up. So when you buy a new boat, like with buying a new house or a new anything, there'll be a couple of little minor issues and it will take time to settle in the water, and then we're meant to come back after 8 weeks to resolve all of those issues. As I said in the last video, they didn't come. I was very annoyed. They came yesterday, so that's 12 weeks and a couple of days since delivery of the boat. Because I wasn't here, there's no photos or videos from yesterday, but I was getting constant updates on the progress, and now that I'm here I've had a chance to look at everything that's been done or not done, as the case may be. So here's my list of snags that I sent through to them, and I'll give you an update on the progress that we've got with those. The first thing was that the boat sits a bit too low in the water at the back. So when they delivered the boat, they moved some of the ballast around and the boat was still sitting really low in the water. So he was meant to bring some heavier ballast back. There was a really long story about what happened with the ballast. The bottom line is they didn't bring the ballast. Apparently they will bring some next time they're passing. I don't know how you'd be passing Leicester from Liverpool, but there you go. I have kind of resigned myself to the fact that anything that hasn't been done on this visit or hasn't been done properly is just not going to be done. So yeah, the ballast issue hasn't been resolved. I guess just don't have too many heavy people on the back with me when I'm cruising. The second big thing that they needed to do was reseal all of my portholes because the sealant that they had used they didn't think was very good. It looks okay, I guess, as long as it works. That's the main thing. He also used the same sealant to reseal my mushroom vents on the roof because a couple of them were leaking. I think it looks absolutely hideous, but I suppose I will get used to it, and the main thing is function. So yeah, he's resealed the mushroom vents and he's resealed the windows. And on the subject of windows, I had been waiting for my porthole bungs, and this is what I've been living with in the meantime, my kind of makeshift attempt at window coverings. But he did bring some porthole bungs with him. So there are 6 portholes on the boat. One of them is in the bathroom, so that's frosted, meaning that there are 5 portholes in this main cabin area. How many porthole bungs do you think he brought with him? If you said 4, you'd be correct. Apparently they thought that I only wanted 4. I don't know why they thought that, but apparently that's what they thought. They thought that I only wanted 4 porthole covers to cover my 5 portholes. Apparently it's not normal or common to have a porthole bung in your galley. Maybe I'm seeing things, but that is sunlight coming through the porthole in my galley. And also, maybe I'm imagining it, but when you are moored alongside the towpath, people walking past don't stick their faces up in the window, in every window except the one in the galley, as you're trying to walk around in your birthday suit or any other situation that you don't want people looking into your boat. So yeah, we've told them that I would in fact like enough porthole bungs to cover all of my portholes. Also, they 100% are the fabric that I ordered, so this is not any fault of Aintree at all. However, the sample was quite small and maybe the lighting was different, but over a bigger area, I don't like the colour. It's a lot darker than I thought it was going to be. Doesn't match the blinds at the front of the boat. From the outside, it does kind of look alright. It does really, really bug me at the moment that they don't match, but I'll learn to live with it. It's not the end of the world. I'm just glad to have something at last. The next thing was the weed hatch. Again, if you saw my last video, I was having trouble getting the weed hatch off. The only way I could do it was by using tools to kind of lever it up. According to Aintree, that is exactly how the weed hatch is designed to be lifted. I don't want to say that they're not telling me the truth, but that does sound a little bit like bollocks to me for a couple of reasons. Well, firstly, I've never known a weed hatch that needs to be opened with tools before, but maybe this one is unique. However, when I took delivery of the boat and I said, could you please show me how to take the weed hatch off, they didn't actually show me, they described it to me, and not once in that description did they mention that I would need a hammer and a chisel to break the seal, and then going forward I would need a tyre brace or a great big screwdriver to open the weed hatch. And also when I asked on the Aintree Beetle owners group on Facebook about what might be wrong with my weed hatch, nobody on there said that they regularly need to use a tool to prise it open, so whatever, at least I can get in there. The next thing was the horn that had stopped working, so apparently he replaced the whole thing, which is cool. The next thing, it's not like a major thing, it's just a little bit annoying, and if you could have fixed it, that would have been great. It's bathroom doors. You have to really firmly, not slam, but like really firmly, assertively close them, and every time I do that, the little door that hides the toilet cassette pops open. Apparently he spent a really, really long time fiddling with the screws there, but it's still doing that, so that's fine, whatever. It's the little quirk of the boat. Next thing on my list is the heater. So the heater works, turn it on and the boat gets really, really hot, and then you turn it off, but you can't adjust the level of the heat or the temperature. There are up and down buttons, and according to the instruction manuals, pressing those up and down buttons will adjust the temperature or the level of the heat. Well, that doesn't work. So apparently when he came, he turned it on and he pressed the up and down buttons and nothing happened, and his conclusion was, well, that's just how it's designed and it's working as it should do. Not to be a complete bitch, but if they had fitted the heater that they advertised they were going to fit to the boat, which is on the specification on their website, and costs about 7 times the amount of money as the little heater that they did supply me with, maybe that would have had an adjustable temperature. Who knows? So yeah, I can be really hot or really cold. Another thing, you will see more about it in my upcoming cruising videos, but there was a bit of an issue with the engine. Basically the air filter wasn't fitted properly, but apparently they don't check the engines, they just get them and install them, and that's that. Am I wrong in thinking that that sounds really, really sus? Yeah, I appreciate that they don't build the engine, but surely they check them to make sure that they're safe. Surely. The last thing that I raised with them, let me read you the email that I sent them. So it was like, alright, here's a list of the snags, blah 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 blah. And then at the end of the email I said, also not so much snags and things I can fix myself, but a bit of feedback for future boats. There were quite a few stains on the upholstery and on the paintwork, as well as a few paint chips here and there. Can you let me know the name of the blue and the cream interior paint so I can get some samples and do some touch-ups? Also, there are a lot of pencil marks on the woodwork that haven't been cleaned off before being lacquered. But fair play to Dave from Aintree, he has touched up a lot of the paintwork. And as soon as I walked onto the boat, first thing I said was, wow, this paintwork looks really fresh. I could tell instantly that he had touched it up, and a lot of the bigger marks and chips and stains have been painted over, and he's also left me some spare paint as well, so very, very happy with that. The pencil marks I'm just going to live with because I cannot be bothered with sanding down wood and lacquering it again. Those were all of the snagging issues, and that's what's happened. I doubt that I'm going to have any interaction with Aintree again. It's kind of sad, like, the whole boat building process should have been exciting and happy, and I just feel that the customer service is really subpar and tainted what should have been a happy experience for me. I'm not even so much upset with the delays. It was just, I don't want to say lies, just the communication style, and you know, like ringing up and saying, yeah, the boat's going to be ready, the boat's almost ready, when it wasn't almost ready. If they'd been upfront with me from the start and all throughout the process, I would have respected that, and I wouldn't have minded the delays. It's not the length of time that it actually took in the end that bothers me. It's the fact that at so many stages throughout the build I was told things that turned out not to materialise. You know, overall I'm very, very happy with the boat, and I don't think the build time was unreasonable. I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me on that. It's just be upfront with people, that's all. Anyway, let's make that the last that we talk about it, because this boat's meant to be a happy place, and we don't want to dwell on anything negative. So I will bring you a cruising video next week, and as always, thank you for watching. Right, take care, bye.